3 years ago, Apple released the iPhone 14 Pro. Since then, we've also got some budget iPhones like the 15 or the 16e. Still, the 14 Pro is actually the one turning into one of the best budget iPhones you could buy in 2025 or 26. So if you're trying to spend your money wisely, this will be your answer, because in this video we'll talk about the performance and the camera, battery life and longevity, and then I'll give you some advice if you're looking to buy one. Let's talk performance. The 14 Pro is running the A16, which shouldn't push you away because, first of all, it's still faster than any Android smartphone, and most importantly, even the currently selling iPhone 15 has the same chip. So Apple's confident in it too. iOS 18 flies on it without issues, and so will iOS 26. The 120Hz display makes it feel just as fast as the new iPhones, the apps open with the same speed, and editing or exporting on it feels just as effortless. The CPU Apple builds for iPhones are always years ahead of the competition and have a lot of future-proofing built in, so long story short, performance is not something you have to worry about. Not today, not in a few years. The same can also easily be said about the camera. Let's do a mini test. Can you tell which picture was taken on the 14 Pro and which one on a professional grade mirrorless camera? If you can't, here's another one. What about now? Still can't tell? Well, see, the point I'm trying to make is not that the iPhone's camera is just as good as a mirrorless camera. It's obviously not. But the main sensor is so good that with proper handling, it can take pictures that would pass as a pro camera. And if the pictures I'm showing aren't doing it justice, the best current iPhone, which is the 16 Pro at the time of filming, still uses the same sensor as on the 14 Pro. Here's some pictures from the 16 Pro. They don't look drastically different. And when you compare it to the 15 or 16e, it's just plain better, because it offers a lot of features and physical lenses, despite being older than both of them. Now, for the one area where the 14 Pro does show its age, which is battery life. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best, and it probably won't get you for a whole day on a single charge, especially if you're gonna be using the camera a lot. After all, the battery gets tired after a few years, so you'll have to occasionally charge it throughout the day, and it doesn't help that it still has a lightning connector. But since MagSafe accessories are pretty cheap nowadays, and most of you have some wireless charger at work, in your car or at home, it's not really a big issue. Besides, a battery replacement is only $100, and that will get you a basically fresh iPhone. And if you don't want to replace the battery and invest some more money into an older device, you might not even have to. I'll tell you all about that in a second, but first, let's talk about longevity. How long can you keep using it? Well, it's currently running iOS 18 and also got the iOS 26 update, and if history is anything to go by, we can safely assume they will get around 7 years of major iOS updates, which tells us that it's just at the start of its life cycle. You can easily expect 3 or 4 more years of major iOS updates, likely until 2029 or even 2030, which is a crazy thing to say, but it will last you that long. That's better than most Android phones sold right now. Design-wise, the new iPhones haven't got too far either, and knowing Apple, it's gonna take a few more years until something truly new comes out. So you're not gonna be left out here too. Especially since the stainless steel frame still feels premium and heavy. It's still got the dynamic island, the 120Hz beautiful display, which by the way is one of the most color-accurate display in the world, and gets just as bright as the one on the 16 Pro. The 48-megapixel main camera, which you already saw what is capable of, and there won't be a lack of software support either. The Lightning port, yes, it's mildly annoying, sure, but when was the last time you plugged in your iPhone to charge it? I know I haven't used the port to charge the iPhone in years, and as for accessories, nearly all major brands still support Lightning, so it's a non-issue either, really. This iPhone ticks all the major boxes and does so better than a new iPhone 15 or 16e would. It's pretty much better in virtually everything. So let's say you want to buy one. What's the best way to do it, especially if you don't want to pay extra for a battery replacement? The cheapest way is to look for a used one, and if saving money is your main goal, this works just fine. Though, be sure to look at it in person and check for body and water damage, especially around the corners of a display, since those are the weakest spots. If the frame is bent or there's deeper scratches or even cracks around the frame, that's not a phone to consider, because the display will pop the moment you drop it. Make sure the display is responsive in all areas and if it supports street tone, because if not, that's a replacement display. Aim for a 90 90% battery health, and just generally make sure everything's fine and doesn't feel fishy. I have a whole video on how to buy a used iPhone. My recommendation though would be that you buy an Apple certified refurbished one, because that way not only do you save a lot of money and can buy a 14 Pro cheaper than the 15, but you also get a basically new device under warranty with a new, fresh battery and zero risks or headaches. It's the safest way to get a new iPhone 14 Pro at a real discount. So in 2025, should you buy the 14 Pro? Absolutely, if you're looking for a cheap but capable iPhone with a long future, this is still a smart buy. Just make sure to buy wisely and you'll have the flagship experience for years to come.